I wish you all a very happy and prosperous New Year. The day, which is popularly known as Navabarsha, Gudi Padwa, Ugadi, Puthandu, Vishu, Bohag Bihu, and Vaisakhi in different parts of our country, needless to say, is a very special day. On this auspicious occasion, CSIR Discare, a premier research institute for science communication and science popularization, and Vigyan Bharati, an organization committed to promote and propagate Swadesi science movement, are bringing together a unique thematic wall calendar, Food as a Medicine. It is with great pleasure that I, Charulata, on behalf of the organizing committee of the special session on the release of this thematic unisolar calendar, Food as a Medicine, take the opportunity to welcome our distinguished guests and introduce them to the audience who have joined us live through Niscare and Vibha Facebook pages. In this special session, we have four distinguished guests with us. Dr. Sekhar C. Mande, Director General CSIR and Secretary DSIR, has joined us for the inaugural address. Professor Soputre Chaudhary, Director, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune, is our chief guest and will deliver the keynote address. Shri Jain Sahasrapadeji, National Organizing Secretary, Vigyan Bharati, and Dr. Arvind C. Ranade, scientist at Vigyan Prasad and Governing Council member of VIPA, will also be addressing the session. We have with us Professor Ranjana Agarwal, Director Niscare and STAS, under whose able mentorship the program is being conducted. Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, music, art, wisdom, and nature, represents the free flow of wisdom and conciseness. It is believed that goddess Saraswati endows human beings with the powers of speech, wisdom, and learning. Saraswati Vandana is therefore an ideal means of realizing the spiritual relevance in the knowledge that we apparently gain. Similarly, deep prajalan and lighting of the lamp removes darkness, ignorance, unhappiness, and spreads the Almighty's grace and divine energy in the surrounding. The lighting of the oil lamp is also regarded as to going down to the knowledge. We therefore begin this program by seeking blessings from Goddess Saraswati and lighting the lamp. I now request Shri Jayanji, Professor Agarwal, and Dr. Ranade to kindly light the auspicious lamp. Formally begin the session.
शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा माता सरस्वती सरस्वती भगवती निश्चय.
I now request the Director CSIR Niscare, Professor Ranjana Agarwal, to welcome our guests and give introductory remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Charu. सुप्रभात. आज चैत्र शुक्ल प्रतिपदा, भारतीय नववर्ष की सभी को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. इस कोविड समय में मैं ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि ये नव वर्ष मानव कल्याण के लिए हो, मंगलकारी हो. आदरणीय डॉक्टर शेखर सी मांडे, महानिदेशक CSIR एवं सेक्रेटरी DSIR भारत सरकार, प्रोफेसर सौम्य रे चौधरी, निदेशक खगोल शास्त्र एवं खगोल भौतिकी अंतर विश्वविद्यालय केंद्र, जिसको हम इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी सेंटर फॉर एस्ट्रोनॉमी एंड एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स आयुका पुणे के नाम से जानते हैं। श्री जयंत सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी, राष्ट्रीय संगठन सचिव विज्ञान भारती, ऑनलाइन माध्यम से जुड़े CSIR प्रयोगशालाओं के निदेशक, निस्टैट्स निस्केयर के सभी वैज्ञानिक एवं तकनीकी अधिकारीगण, डॉक्टर अरविंद रानडे जी, वैज्ञानिक विज्ञान प्रसार, श्री प्रवीण रामदास जी, राष्ट्रीय मंत्री विभाग, निस्केयर जर्नल डिवीजन, particularly biological sciences division and IJTK team, those who have taken the lead to organize this function, and dear research scholars, आज के विशेष सत्र थीमेटिक चंद्र सौर कैलेंडर औषधि के रूप में मेडिसिन, फूड एज ए मेडिसिन के रिलीज सेरेमनी लोकार्पण सत्र में मैं आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ, अभिनंदन करती हूँ। जैसा हम सब जानते हैं, चैत्र शुक्ल प्रतिपदा भारतीय नव वर्ष के रूप में मनाया जाता है और इसकी अवधारणा चंद्रमा और सूर्य की गति के अनुसार की गई है, जो कि अपने आप में बहुत वैज्ञानिक है, सैद्धांतिक है। तो हमें निस्केयर में, जो कि एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है साइंस कम्युनिकेशन का, उसके तहत इसको करना हमें लगा आज का दिन सार्थक होगा। तो सर्वप्रथम मैं डॉक्टर शेखर सिंह मांडे, महानिदेशक DG CSIR का हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। हमें हमेशा उनका मार्गदर्शन मिलता रहता है और निस्टैट्स और निस्केयर में उनका जो अटूट विश्वास, स्पेशली इंडिया इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेस्टिवल के दौरान जो उन्होंने हमें दिखाया, उसके लिए भी हम उनके बहुत आभारी हैं और भविष्य में भी हम उनसे मार्गदर्शन की अपेक्षा करते रहेंगे। और क्योंकि निस्टैट्स और निस्केयर आने वाले समय में एक नई एंटिटी के रूप में निकलेगा, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ साइंस कम्युनिकेशन एंड पॉलिसी रिसर्च, तो आपके मार्गदर्शन में हम चाहेंगे कि ये इंस्टीट्यूट अपने मैंडेट को पूरा करने में सक्षम हो। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत सर। आज हमारे बीच में सौमक राय चौधरी हैं। जैसा मैंने बताया कि वो निदेशक हैं आयुका के। उनके लिए कोई परिचय जरूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने शोध कार्य से न सिर्फ भारत में परंतु अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर खगोल भौतिक शास्त्र में जो उपलब्धियां हासिल की हैं, उनकी लिखी बात को, उनकी कही बात को न सिर्फ वैज्ञानिक समाज परंतु जनमानस भी सहजता से स्वीकार करता है। मुझे खुशी है कि आज के अवसर पर जब हम ल्यूनी सोलर कैलेंडर की बात कर रहे हैं, तो उन जैसा दिग्गज हमारे बीच में है, विशेषज्ञ उनके भी हमारे बीच में है, तो उनके द्वारा जो बात कही जाएगी, मुझे लगता है वो समाज उसको आत्मसात करेगा। और मुझे ये शेयर करते हुए बहुत हर्ष होता है कि जब मैंने उनसे बात की कि आप हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में आए और अपना उद्बोधन दें, जिस सहजता से उन्होंने स्वीकार किया, उसके लिए मैं आपकी बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप हमारे बीच में आए, बहुत बहुत स्वागत। हमारे बीच में जयंत जी हैं, जयंत जी सहस्त्रबुद्धे, राष्ट्रीय संगठन सचिव विज्ञान भारती। जिस तरह से वो स्वदेशी विज्ञान आंदोलन का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं, पूरे भारतवर्ष में सभी साइंटिस्ट को एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर लेके आना और उनको भारतीय विज्ञान के प्रति मुझे कहना चाहिए प्रेरित करना कि कैसे हम जनमानस में भी इसको लेके जाएं, तो मैं उनकी जो कर्तव्य निष्ठा देखती हूँ तो वो बहुत प्रेरणादायी रही है। उनका इस सत्र में आना हमारे लिए बहुत विशेष महत्व रखता है। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत। हमारे साथ डॉक्टर अरविंद रानडे जी हैं, जो विज्ञान प्रसार में है, वैज्ञानिक हैं, साइंस कम्युनिकेशन उनका फोटे है और इस थीमेटिक कैलेंडर को डिजाइन करने में, डेवलप करने में उनका बहुत विशेष योगदान रहा है। वो खुद भी एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स के हैं, तो उनका भी इस सत्र में बहुत बहुत स्वागत। और भी इस सत्र में जो लोग उपस्थित हैं यहाँ पे, मैं उन सबका स्वागत करना चाहूंगी। थोड़ा सा संक्षिप्त में मैं इस कार्यक्रम के बारे में अपने भूमिका रखना चाहूंगी कि किस तरह से ये शुरू किया हमने निस्केयर में। निस्केयर, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं, CSIR की 38 प्रयोगशालाओं में से एक प्रयोगशाला है, जिसका काम है साइंस को कम्युनिकेट करना, सोसाइटी में डिसैमिनेट करना, पॉपुलराइज करना और एक साइंटिफिक टेम्पर डेवलप करना। और इसको करने के लिए निस्केयर में विशेष तरह के प्रोग्राम्स चलते रहते हैं। जो सबसे बड़ी एक्टिविटीज इसमें है, जो कि अपने आप में पूरे भारतवर्ष में अकेला इंस्टीट्यूट है जो स्कॉलरली जर्नल 18 प्रकाशित करता है, पॉपुलर मैगजीन्स जिसमें साइंस रिपोर्टर है, विज्ञान प्रगति है, साइंस की दुनिया है, इंग्लिश, हिंदी और उर्दू में। ये पिछले 6 दशकों से ये गतिविधि चल रही है। यहाँ पे बुक्स चल रही हैं, यहाँ पे नेशनल साइंस लाइब्रेरी है, नेशनल नॉलेज रिसोर्स सेंटर है, IISN का इंटरनेशनल सेंटर है। सो इस तरह की गतिविधियों से निस्केयर साइंस कम्युनिकेशन समाज तक पहुंचाता है। निस्केयर ये भी समझता है कि ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज, जो हमारा पारंपरिक ज्ञान है, उसको भी समाज तक पहुंचाना हमारी जिम्मेवारी है। इसी के निहित निस्केयर ने वेल्थ ऑफ इंडिया ऐसा करके एक कंपेंडियम 2010 में लेके आए थे, जिसमें भारत की जो जैव विविधता है, चाहे वो वनस्पति हो, चाहे वो जीव जंतु हो या मिनरल्स हो, उन सब का एक अच्छा कंपेंडियम, जो कि एक धरोहर के रूप में माना जाता है, वेल्थ ऑफ इंडिया का संकलन किया। उसी तरह TKDL, जिसको हम ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी, जो अपने आप में CSIR की एक यूनिट है और आयुष मंत्रालय द्वारा मानित है, उसका भी अगर जनक कहें तो वो निस्केयर ही था। यहीं से ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज को लेके उसकी शुरुआत हुई। ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज को प्रोमिनेंस देने के लिए निस्केयर एक जर्नल निकालता है, इंडियन जर्नल ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज। दिस जर्नल इज वेरी पॉपुलर। इस जर्नल में इंडिया की ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज को लेके, चाहे वो डॉक्यूमेंटेड हो या अनडॉक्यूमेंटेड हो, किस तरह का रिसर्च उसके ऊपर हो रहा है, इस जर्नल में प्रकाशित हो रहा है। इसी के साथ हम समाज को जोड़ने के लिए ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज को कैसे एंगेज कर सकते हैं, उस तरह के कार्यक्रम हम करते रहते हैं। कोविड-19 में भी हमने ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिनल नॉलेज और कंटेम्पररी मेडिसिन को कैसे ज्वाइन करके हम एक अच्छा मॉडल प्रस्तुत कर सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर कलेक्टिव इंटेलिजेंस सीरीज का आयोजन किया। आज का सत्र भी मैं उसी कड़ी में एक छोटा वो मानती हूँ, जुड़ाव मानती हूँ, क्योंकि हम सब जानते हैं कि भारतीय नववर्ष संवत्सर हम हमेशा मनाते हैं। पूरे भारतवर्ष में अलग अलग नामों से, अलग अलग तरीकों से हम अपनी सांस्कृतिक विरासत के हिसाब से इसको सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। गांव-गांव में, और मुझे कहना चाहिए जिनको हम अनपढ़ कहते हैं, वो लोग सब जानते हैं कि कौन सी तिथि कब है, कौन सा मास चल रहा है, कब हमारे तीज त्योहार होंगे। को किसी विशेषज्ञ की जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन हमारी नई जनरेशन को शायद ऐसा लगता होगा कि जब हमारी माँ दादी हमको बताती हैं कि पंचांग की बात, उनको लगता होगा कि कुछ ऑर्थोडॉक्स बातें कर रहे हैं या कुछ गैर वैज्ञानिक बातें कर रहे हैं। तो निस्केयर में ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज ग्रुप को ऐसा लगता है कि आज का सत्र एक विज्ञान में साइंस कम्युनिकेशन का एक माध्यम हो सकता है कि हम भारतीय पारंपरिक ज्ञान को, जो हमारा खगोल शास्त्र को लेके ज्ञान है और किस तरह से हमने काल गणना शुरू की, उसके बारे में चर्चा करें। तो उसके लिए आज हमारे पास डॉक्टर सोमकराव चौधरी हैं, जो हमें पूरा इस पे विस्तार से अपना उद्बोधन देंगे और हमें मार्गदर्शित करेंगे। और दूसरा, इसको हमने जो आज थीमेटिक कैलेंडर है, इसको फूड एंड फ्रूट्स के साथ जोड़ा है, इसके बारे में भी विस्तार से चर्चा होगी। तो मुझे लगता है ये दो चीजें जो साइंस कम्युनिकेशन की इस पूरे सत्र से निकल के आएंगी कि हम अपनी काल गणना प्लेनेटरी बॉडीज के हिसाब से कैसे करते हैं, क्यों करते हैं, कितना सैद्धांतिक है, कितना वैज्ञानिक है, वो निकल के आएगा, जो समाज उसको अपनाएगा। और दूसरा, जो हमारा भारतीय खान पान है, जो हमारी जैविक विविधता है, उससे हम बीमारी से सिर्फ बीमारी की चिंता नहीं करें, हम वेलनेस की चिंता करें, होलिस्टिक हेल्थ की चिंता करें, तो वो निकल के आएगा। तो इसी विचार के साथ इस सत्र को रखा गया है और मुझे लगता है आज की जो वार्ताएं होंगी वो बहुत उपयोगी होंगी समाज के लिए। इन्हीं सब शब्दों के साथ मैं फिर से आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ कि आपने अपने व्यस्ततम समय में से हमें समय दिया और इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ा रहे हैं। और सभी जो बंधु भगिनी हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं उनका भी मैं अभिवादन करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।
Thank you, ma'am. I have now the honor and privilege of inviting Dr. Shekhar Mande, Director General CSIR and Secretary DSIR, for the inaugural address. Before Sir gives his inaugural address, I'd like to read out his brief biography. Dr. Mande is cultural and communication.
Start. So thank you very much for your kind invitation. Professor Ranjana Agarwal, Professor Soumya Chaudhary, JNT Sahasrabuddhe, Dr. Arvind Ranade. It's a great pleasure for me to be able to be with you once again. The only regret that I have is that I'm not there in person with you. However, I would have liked it to be. But nonetheless, I've been able to join on the web. It's a privilege for me to do that. Very hearty greetings to all those who have joined on the web for today, whether be it Gudi Padwa or Ugadi or Baisakhi or Bihu, whatever is being celebrated across the country, and the New Year. Hearty greetings to everyone for the same. I think today's day is very apt for conducting this seminar, and I would like to congratulate Professor Agarwal, Ranjana Agarwal, for having thought of celebrating this on today's date. This marks a new year for many of the Indian cultures, and it's essentially according to lunar year. But as we know, according to the solar year, we mark the new year on 22nd March, about 15-20 days ago, and we had a small function at that time as well. Most of you would agree with me, and surely Professor Raichaudhuri will agree with me, is the fact that one of the earliest of the sciences ever since human beings came into being was that of astronomy and mathematics. And just out of curiosity, most early human beings, even before they formed societies, had started mapping the positions of stars and moon and everything in the sky. And there arose the need to actually have this periodic arrangement of constellations in the sky, and that was not failed to notice around the world in many different cultures. India's contributions in the early astronomy have been phenomenal. Professor Raichaudhuri is an expert in that particular field, and India's contributions in early astronomy essentially led to the following of the calendar system according to lunar calendar then, and also later following of the solar calendar. But the second part of the today's theme is, of course, that of food linked to the calendar, and that all of us are aware that different kinds of fruits and vegetables they grow in different seasons, and it is nature's way of adapting all things around us. So the plants and the fruit varieties and all, as much as all animals, have adapted to the nature according to this particular cycle. And adaptation has some natural force behind it, which essentially says that if we consume food available in that particular season, that's best for our health. Unfortunately, the one part of globalization that has happened is that all the food is available throughout the year these days. You know, I mean, in earlier year, watermelon would be only available during the summer months, but not during the winters. But that's not the case thanks to globalization these days. But in some sense, if we don't forget the natural cycle and the nature about this, it actually suggests that we must follow nature's own cycle of calendar, nature's own cycle of different seasons, and adapt ourselves to the nature. We should not, in any case, adopt nature to our needs, and the sustainable living essentially states that we should adopt to the nature rather than the other way. And therefore, the calendar that is being unveiled today is a very important step in that particular direction. I'm very pleased that Professor Soumya Raichaudhuri is with us today to tell us the science behind the solar and lunar calendars, and I look forward to the talk. Thank you all for inviting me. Welcome all of you again, and greetings to all of you once again for the new year. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Today we have with us Sri Jayan Sahasrabudhe National Organizing Secretary, Vigyan Bharati. Sri Jayan ji has been very actively involved in promoting and propagating Swadesi science movement. And very recently, CSI NISTAT has organized India International Science Festival of 2020. And Sri Jayan ji has been a very instrumental and guiding force for successful organization of the event. Now I request Shri Sahasrabudhe ji to deliver the special address to the audience.
सर्वप्रथम मैं आज नववर्ष की शुभकामनाएं इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित सारे बंधु भगिनियों को दे रहा हूं। आज हमारे साथ डॉक्टर शेखर जी मांडे, डॉक्टर सौमक राय चौधरी, डॉक्टर अंजना जी अग्रवाल और मेरे मित्र और सहयोगी डॉक्टर अरविंद जी रानड़े और निस्केर और विज्ञान भारती के बंधु भगिनियों के साथ समाज के भी बहुत सारे बांधव जुड़े हैं। आज एक विशेष कार्यक्रम के लिए हम सब एक साथ आए हैं। हम सबके लिए भारतवर्ष में ये नववर्ष का प्रारंभ दिन है और स्वाभाविक है नववर्ष के दिन हम एक नई दिनदर्शिका का उद्घाटन करते हैं। दिनदर्शिका अपने जीवन में रोज बहुत ही उपयोगी इस प्रकार का एक साधन माना जाता है, लेकिन हम सब जानते हैं कि अपने देश में जब ग्रेगोरियन कैलेंडर यानी पश्चिमी दिनदर्शिका का उपयोग प्रारंभ हो गया, तब सामान्यतः केवल दिनों की गिनती करना इतना ही उसका एक सामान्य सा अर्थ रह गया। हम सब जानते हैं कि अपने देश में सदियों से काल की गणना होती आई है और काल की गणना को केवल दिनों की गिनती करना यहाँ तक सीमित नहीं माना गया, नहीं रखा गया। हम सब जानते हैं कि खगोलीय या आकाशस्थ जो ग्रहगोल होते हैं उनकी गति से और उनके चलन वलन से कई प्रकार के परिवर्तन अपने पृथ्वी पर इस सृष्टि में अपने जीवन में आते रहते हैं। उनका बहुत ही अच्छा अध्ययन अपने देश में किया गया और उनकी वारंवारिता को अच्छी प्रकार से अभ्यास करते हुए समझने का प्रयास किया गया और उससे कई प्रकार के वैज्ञानिक तत्व हम सभी के सामने आए, जो आज फिर एक बार आधुनिक विज्ञान के द्वारा हम सभी के सामने आ रहे हैं। जैसे वर्तमान में कई प्रकार की जो चुनौतियां है उसमें पर्यावरणीय चुनौतियां है और सबसे बड़ी बात जो आई है चुनौती बनकर वो यानी शाश्वत विकास, इस प्रकार की कल्पना। हम विकास की तो बात करते हैं, लेकिन हम सब देखते हैं कि विकास की दिशा ये शाश्वतता की ओर होनी चाहिए। तो शाश्वत विकास को कैसे अपनाना, शाश्वत विकास को इसलिए कौन से मार्गदर्शक सूत्र बन सकते हैं। 1992 में ब्राजील के अंदर एक पृथ्वी शिखर सम्मेलन हुआ और विश्व में सर्वप्रथम विश्व के सारे वैज्ञानिक और कुछ विशेष विद्वान एक साथ आकर उन्होंने एक बड़ी चिंता प्रकट की और जो विचार मंथन किया उस चिंता के लिए, उसके द्वारा कुछ मार्गदर्शक सूत्र बाहर आए और उसमें फिर एक बार ये बात सामने आई कि अब हम सभी ने प्रकृति के साथ सुसंवादी जीवन कैसे जीना चाहिए, इसको सीखना पड़ेगा। हाउ टू लिव इन हार्मनी विथ नेचर, इस प्रकार की कल्पना उससे सामने आई और आगे चलकर इसी दिशा में आधुनिक विज्ञान का विकास होते गया और हम सब देखते हैं कि नई विधाएं आधुनिक विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में उभरती गई। उसमें से एक नई विज्ञान को इस प्रकृति के चक्रों के साथ जोड़कर कैसे देखा जा सकता है, इस बात को आज आधुनिक विज्ञान बहुत गहराई से समझने लगा है। तो विज्ञान भारती ने ऐसे सोचा और निस्केर ने उसको साथ दिया और हम दोनों ने एक साथ आकर ऐसे विचार किया कि हम केवल दिनदर्शिका, जिसमें केवल दिनों की गिनती होती है, उतना ही उसको सीमित न रखे, तो आधुनिक विज्ञान इस दिनों की गिनती के साथ जोड़कर कई प्रकार के जो परिवर्तन आते हैं, जिससे हमें इस सृष्टि के अलग अलग प्राकृतिक चक्र जो काल के अनुसार आते हैं उनको समझना बड़ा आसान होता है। इन दोनों को मिलाकर एक दिनदर्शिका का निर्माण करना चाहिए, जिससे सामान्य व्यक्ति को केवल दिनों की गिनती इतना ही नहीं तो उसके आगे जाकर जो परिवर्तन सृष्टि में आते हैं, उस सृष्टि के परिवर्तन के साथ अपने आप को ठीक रखने के लिए केवल व्यक्ति इस नाते नहीं, तो जिस सृष्टि में हम रहते हैं उस सृष्टि को भी ठीक रखने के लिए किस प्रकार की बातें करनी चाहिए। तो हमने सोचा कि इस प्रकार का विचार लेकर हम दिनदर्शिका को बनाए, इसलिए इसको एक केंद्रीय संकल्पना के आधार पर बनी हुई दिनदर्शिका, यानी अंग्रेजी में जिसको थीमेटिक कैलेंडर कहते हैं, उसकी निर्मित करने का विचार आया। और एक संयोग ऐसे ध्यान में आया कि इस वर्ष संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ के द्वारा इस 2021 वर्ष को एक इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स इस नाम से घोषित किया गया है। तो हमने सोचा कि हम क्यों न इस महामारी के समय जो बात सामने आई है कि कई प्रकार की औषधियों का विकास आधुनिक विज्ञान के द्वारा चल रहा है, उसी प्रकार से पारंपरिक स्वास्थ्य का जो विज्ञान है उसके द्वारा भी इसका उपाय क्या हो सकता है, इसके बारे में बहुत ही बड़ा मंथन चल रहा है। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ एक बात ध्यान में आ रही है कि केवल उपायों के आधार पर चलना ये ठीक नहीं है, जिसको अंग्रेजी में कहावत इसके रूप में कहा जाता है, प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर, ऐसे कहा जाता है। तो हम अगर इन सारी बीमारियों को दूर रखने के लिए नियमित रूप से कौन सी बातें कर सकते हैं जो विज्ञान के आधार पर अब सिद्ध हो चुकी है, तो हमने सोचा कि आहार, अन्न एक ऐसा बहुत ही प्रभावी ऐसा एक साधन है जिसके द्वारा हम अपने स्वास्थ्य को अच्छा रख सकते हैं। तो हमने ऐसे विचार किया कि फूड एज मेडिसिन, यानी अन्न को ही औषधि के रूप में उपयोग में लाना, इस संकल्पना को इस सृष्टि के कालचक्र के साथ जोड़कर सबके सामने प्रस्तुत करना ये सर्वथा उपयोगी होगा। और ऐसे सोचकर हमने इस एक विशेष दिनदर्शिका का निर्माण किया है। और निष्कैर और विज्ञान भारती को बड़ा आनंद है कि आज अपने देश के इस नववर्ष के अवसर पर हम इसको लोगों के सामने प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, लोकार्पित कर रहे हैं। मुझे बड़ा विश्वास है कि आप सभी इस पूरे दिनदर्शिका का बहुत ही उत्कृष्टता से स्वागत करेंगे, और केवल स्वागत नहीं करेंगे तो इसके आधार पर अपने जीवन को चलाने का प्रयास करेंगे, ताकि ये जो सारी बीमारियां है वो हम तक पहुंचे ही नहीं। इस दृष्टि से इस दिनदर्शिका का बहुत बड़ा लाभ समाज को होने वाला है, ऐसा विश्वास मुझे है। और मुझे विश्वास है कि आज के इस सुअवसर पर हम इसका प्रारंभ करने जा रहे हैं। एक प्रकार का एक अभियान का प्रारंभ मानो इस दिन आज हम करने जा रहे हैं। तो इस कैलेंडर का, दिनदर्शिका का लोकार्पण करते हुए इस कार्यक्रम में मुझे बहुत आनंद हो रहा है। आप सभी को इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित होने के लिए मैं धन्यवाद दे ही रहा हूं, लेकिन और एक अनुरोध भी आपसे करना चाहता हूं कि हम सभी मिलकर जो इस कार्यक्रम से जुड़े हैं, इस दिनदर्शिका को अधिकाधिक लोगों तक, केवल भारत के समाज में नहीं अपितु विश्व को हम ये सारी बातें बताने का प्रयास करेंगे। नमस्कार।
धन्यवाद जय जी। चंद्र शौर्य दिनदर्शिका के बारे में इतने प्रगतिशील और प्रेरणादायी उद्बोधन के लिए I have now the honor and privilege to invite our chief guest, Professor Shomakri Chaudhary, Director, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune. Professor Ray Chaudhary is an Indian astrophysicist. He became the fourth director of the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune, India in September 2015. He was professor and head of physics at Presidency University, Kolkata, where he was also the dean of the Faculty of Natural and Mathematical Sciences till August 2015. He remains affiliated to the Astrophysics and Space Research Group, School of Physics and Astronomy, University of Birmingham, where he used to be the director of the Vast Hills Observatory for the period 2003 to 2012. Prior to this, he was a member of the faculty at Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Physics, Pune. He was a staff member at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics in Cambridge, Massachusetts, working for the Chandra X-ray Observatory. Before this, he was a Smithsonian postdoctoral fellow at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics and a tutor at Logan House, Harvard University. Following his PhD, he was a SERC Research Fellow at the Institute of Astronomy at the University of Cambridge and a resident junior research fellow at St. Andrews College, University of Cambridge. He is known for his work on stellar mass black holes and supermassive black holes. His significant contributions include those in the fields of gravitational lensing, galaxy dynamics, and large-scale motions in the universe, including the Great Attractor. He is involved in developing machine learning algorithms for astronomical data mining. He has published numerous research papers in peer-reviewed scientific journals on these themes. In addition, he leads a substantial outreach program involving school students, teachers, and the general public. I now request Professor Ray Chaudhary to deliver his keynote address.
Shoma, give a mic.
Namaskar. Thank you, Daruji, for this introduction. Thank you, and I'm really privileged to be here in the presence of Jainji, Shekharji, Ranjanaji, and Arvindji Tanade. We are and on this wonderful auspicious occasion. Can you please make my slide and make it full screen, please? Make it full screen. Is it possible to make it full screen? Can you use the PDF file, please?
Yeah.
This is not full screen. Can you make it full screen?
Yeah, that's what he's trying.
If you can use the PDF file, that would be much better.
Yeah, I asked him.
No, एक PDF.
Since
I can start. This is all right.
I think, yeah.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Excellent. So can everybody see this? I will then...
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So what I wanted to say today before we go to the inauguration of the new lunisolar and food-related calendar is where we are now and what kind of calendars we have used traditionally in India as well as in the last a couple of centuries. Can we have the next slide, please? Yes. So one of the main things that calendar does is to help us understand the relation between the motion of the Earth around the sun and the various seasons in the around the year, as well as the relation with the stars and the moon, and which also are markers of time. Now, one of the astronomical significances of this whole thing is that for the last 10,000, 12,000 years since the last ice age, we have depended on agriculture, which is what our relationship with food is. And that has been because we have a very stable orbit of the sun, of the Earth around the sun, and the axis at which the Earth spins also is coupled with various things in the solar system, including the moon and the sun, which makes it very stable. This stable nature has helped a repetitive seasonal cycle, as well as a very stable and predictable, almost predictable cycle of weather and seasons. This is very important for agriculture. Now, one of the things that is very important in the sky for us to understand is how the sun moves around the earth as a result of of course, the earth is moving around the sun, but from the earth, you can see that the sun moves in the sky, and it rises at a different place on the horizon every day, and it rises exactly east on 2 days of the year. And these are the two equinoxes, March 21st and September 21st. And as you can see, in March, and so exactly at east and sets exactly at west. And so this is when roughly the day of the length of the day and the length of the night is roughly equal. Now, on the other two special days of the year are the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. As you can see, on that day, the sun rises farthest from the east, and the other solstice also is farthest from the east, but in the other direction. And as a result, the sun is over the horizon for the shortest period, and this is, of course, in the middle of the winter. This is the reason we have seasonal variation during the year, and that is partly because the sun is in the sky for a different amount every day. And in the summer, it is the most time in the sky, and in the winter, it's the least time in the sky. Coupled with it, of course, is the inclination of the Earth's axis when it goes around the sun. But these were known. These dates were known from very early on, and in the Indian tradition, these dates are very important. The equinox, and as you can see, the calendars and our cycle of seasonal cycle related to agriculture is related to the time when the day starts getting longer. For example, for the vernal equinox, and the day starts getting shorter, etc., etc. You can see the motion of the sun through the year is then this whole orbit, which is called the ecliptic, is divided up into these 12 houses of the zodiac, which we give names to, which are Makar, Vrisha, etc. These are the houses of the zodiac, and these are roughly the sun spends about a month in each of these houses, and these mark the seasons for us. This is called the ecliptic, and we know that that is a very special special route on the sky, because this is also followed by all the planets, because the planets are in the same plane as the sun and the earth, and so they also follow the same path in the sky, and we can see the planets in these different houses of the zodiac. And so we roughly name them, we divide it into 12 parts, and we name them according to the constellation, and the month is named after the main nakshatra in that particular house. Now, can I have the next slide, please? After the Earth's orbit around the sun, and you can see that the illumination of the sun on the Earth varies as the Earth goes around the sun, and as a result, and the sun and the Earth is inclined at an angle of 23.5 degrees. I'll come back to this later on. And it is this inclination that makes the northern hemisphere, where we are in Bharat, closer to the sun in the summer, and as a result, the angle at which the sun falls on the earth is very different, is much intense, and this leads to the summer. In the winter, of course, the inclination is much more, and so the sun is much lower in the sky, and as a result, the temperature varies. It becomes much colder. The seasonal variation is very important, and it's related to this orbit of the Earth around the sun. So this is extremely important and has to be connected with our calendar, and this is why one of the first calendars that came to be used is the solar calendar. In addition to this, we have, very importantly, the phases of the moon. We see the moon varies from not being there at all to being full in the sky. And this is not that the moon's size is changing, but the illumination of the sun on the moon is changing. And this whole cycle from Purnima to Amavasya is the lunar cycle. and it is what we essentially call a month. Can I have the next slide, please? Yes, if you go to the next slide. Yes. So now we have to measure time in order to have this calendar. Now, there are big problems with this, and this is why this is such a complex field. Now, in this measures of time, we have the day, and the day is the time taken by the Earth to complete one rotation on its axis. But the problem is, how do I know when is one rotation complete? There is no bell that goes ding at the end of the day. Similarly, in the month is the time from one new moon or Amavasya to the next. But this is not the time that it takes for the moon to rotate once around the Earth. It is slightly different from that. And similarly, it is the year, and the year is the time it takes for the Earth to go around the sun. And there too, how do we know that one revolution is complete? These are extremely important questions that require precise measurement, and this is where astronomy comes in. This is where mathematics comes in, and this is where we have a long tradition of trying to measure this in great detail. Next slide, please. So I want you to know this. It's very important in our discussion on the calendar today. The lunar month from one new moon Amavasya to the next, right? Now, how do you measure it? If you look at my diagram here, you can see that as the moon goes around the Earth is also going around the sun. So if you take the 2 points I marked, A and B, which means that when the new moon is in the same position with respect to the Earth next, it is only 27.3217 days later. But that is not the same with relation to the sun, because it is the sun's rays falling on the moon that gives the appearance of the new moon, right? So actually, the moon goes around the Earth. If you want to measure it from the illumination of the moon, is different from when the moon actually is going around the Earth, and you have to make corrections for that. And once you do that, you come to what is known as the synodic month. This is very important. We call it the Chandra Mas in Sanskrit, and it is 29.5306 days, not 27.3 days, 29.5 days. So now the problem is all these numbers that we are talking about, the length of the year, which is 365.2422 days, and the month, which I just said is 29.53, and 1 year, which is 12.3683. These are not real integers. And this is the basic problem. To make up a calendar in which you have a relation between the year as well as the seasons and the relation with the moon and what you see in the sky are very difficult to manage. And this is why we have all these different calendars. So those numbers are very important. So the three main calendar systems, as I said, we started with the solar calendar. This is based on the solar year. And the months, as Jayantji mentioned, the months are just subdivisions of the years, right? They have nothing to do with our seasons. They have nothing to do with the phases of the moon. They are just convenient divisions of the Earth's orbit around the sun, the solar year, right? That's the solar calendar. So that is a problem, because if you want to link our agricultural seasons, our food with the calendar, this is not complete. So one good example is the Gregorian calendar we use. The other regional calendars are very important, like the Tamil calendar, the Bengali calendar, etc. The lunar calendar, on the other hand, is based on the synodic month, that 29.3 days I told you. And each year is then, if you take 12 months, you can make it into a lunar calendar. The problem is there is no connection with the seasons, and if you add 12 such lunar months, they don't make a whole year. And so each year is different. And so you will lose connection with the seasons very much. So the best kind of calendar then is a combination of the two, which is called the lunisolar calendar, which is what we are going to inaugurate today. It uses both the synodic months and the year. And this is, for example, the Northern Indian calendar, which is the basis of the calendar that we are going to see today. So in India, traditionally, Indian mathematics and astronomy has been dealing with this for a long, long time. Aryabhatta is one of the major people who actually knew all of this, knew what this what Surya does. It has its own light. He calculated a lot of the orbital elements of the various planets that go around us. And but a lot of our calendars are based on a very important text, which the earliest version is from the 5th century AD, which is called the Surya Siddhanta, which has amazing appearance of the trigonometric tables, etc. Lots of very original mathematics, but it actually has a very accurate measurement of the length of the synodic month, which we will see, and also the relation with the solar year. Bhaskara actually worked on the Surya Siddhanta quite a lot and refined it and made a lot of corrections to it. Next slide, please. So the one we use now is the Julian calendar, the Roman calendar. Very quickly, I will tell you. They assume that the length of the year is 365.25 days, and you can see that the names of the months, they are just divided by months. Actually, their calendar started in March. And you can see the 7th month is the Saptam, September, Saptam. In Sanskrit and Latin are very close to each other. October, Ashtam, and November, Navam, and December, Dasham. Those were the months. And Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar changed the names of some of the months according to their own names. This is the basis calendar we use. But since the length of the that calendar was 365.25 days. The next slide will show you. Can I have the next slide? It had to be reformed because actually the length of the year is 365.2422 days. So by the time it went to the 15th, 16th century, the difference per year is 11 minutes. So by the time the 1580s, the calendar had shifted by about 11 days. The problem is that all our religious festivals follow the lunar cycle as well as the solar cycle. So for example, our Ram Navami is the Navami of the lunar cycle after the first Purnima, after the vernal equinox. Similarly, their Easter in the Christian tradition is the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the vernal equinox. So if, for example, the length of the year is not correct, then the festival does not link with the season. It moves around. So it moved quite a lot. So Pope Gregory made this correction, and this correction was made in 1582. And next slide, please. It shows that all over the world, it was actually adopted in very different times. We adopted it along with Great Britain 200 years after this. The rest of the world did it. So often we call it the English calendar. It is not an English calendar. Actually, the English failed to adopt it for 200 years, and Russia only adopted it 100 years ago. So this is the calendar. As I said, it is a solar calendar. It has no link with the seasons. The months are just divisions of them. The next slide will tell you what happens if you use a calendar which is just a lunar calendar. The only lunar calendar that is used in the world is Islamic calendar. And there you have the average length of the year is the 12 times the synodic, the lunar month, 29.5 days. So that is 354 days. And so each year there is a deficit of about 11 days. And it moves around, and you can see, for example, I've given the dates over a year, many years of Eid al-Fitr, which is the last day of Ramadan, and it moves all the way across many months, and it has no link with the seasons. If we go to the next slide, you will see what happens if you use a lunisolar calendar. These are the days of Dashera in the same years. And what happens is that if you take the lunar and the solar together, the way to do it is that we use an extra month. It is called a leap month, and it is inserted in between certain years. And as a result, the actual date of the festival stays within a certain period. And you can see here, in particular case, the fact that there's an Adhik Mas that has been inserted in between these years means that the date of Dasera here, and the same applies to Diwali and Ram Navami and things like that, they will come in roughly the same time. So how do you want to do this? You have to insert an extra month roughly once in 3 years. Why? Because the difference between the lunar calendar and the solar calendar is that 11 days, which is 1/3 of a month. Actually, what our mathematicians, traditional mathematicians, way back in Bhaskara, and there is a rough calculation even in the Surya Siddhanta, which showed you that even 1/3 is not right, the right number. The right number, the difference, as you can see, 1 year is 12.3683. That is not exactly 1/3, it is 7/19. 7 divided by 19 is 0.3684. So every 19 years, you have to add an extra month 7 times. So not 1 month every 3 years, but every 19 years an Adhik Mas. So this is exactly what we use in the lunisolar calendar. And that is how you saw that Dashera stays within that October, November, that time, because every few. So here's an example of the Hebrew lunisolar calendar, and our calendar is very similar to this. And you can see that in that whole range of years, 1 year is inserted 7 years in that 19-year cycle, right? And in the North Indian calendar, the calendar that we use, and we will hear about, is one of these things in which in order to make the lunar and the solar calendar come together, in order to make it completely in tune with the seasons, we have to use this extra month that we have to introduce. Can I have the next slide? I'll quickly go through 2 important calendars. The Bengali calendar is interesting to look at because it follows exactly the Surya Siddhanta to the word, and it has followed it, and it's a solar calendar. The problem there is that because the Surya Siddhanta does not have Surya Siddhanta's the average year is 365.25. It's very accurate, but not quite accurate, and as a result, it moves a little. It is 365.25 instead of 24. And the discrepancy is about 0.4 hours per year. But it has got a very interesting feature that as the Earth goes around the Sun, in Posh and Magh, these 2 months in January, February, it is closest to the Sun, so it moves fastest and it goes away. Ashad, Shravan, it goes slowest, and so the length of the month is tuned to that. So you can see 32 days in Shravan, but 28 days, 29 days in Posh. So that's a very interesting feature of a solar calendar, but it is not a lunisolar calendar. The next slide will show. Can I just move through because I'm running out of time? But this is just shows that the precession of the equinoxes. The thing is that the Earth's axis around the Sun moves like a top for about every 26,000 years, and that causes a slight correction. And this is the correction that if one puts on the Surya Siddhanta's calculation, gives you an exact solution for the lunisolar calendar. So this is what was done, for example, for the Indian calendar that Meghnad Saha and their committee introduced. Next slide, please. The Indian national calendar, which was adopted in 1957, which adopted this precession of the equinoxes. And this is still a completely solar calendar. And this is the one that is the Saka era, which you will see in the calendar that we released today. The Saka era we use, and this is the one that the Indian Parliament adopted. But remember, this is still a solar calendar, but what has happened is that it incorporates a lot of these modern astronomical corrections and things like that. But still, this is not the lunisolar calendar that is the ideal calendar. And the Indian lunisolar calendar then takes the lunar month and introduces these 7 extra months every 19 years. And this is the one that is used instead of the other ones, which are also very interesting, have interesting applications all through northern India. So, and the final slide shows what we are about to see right now. Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to the visions of this calendar.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening speech on Indian astronomy and calendar systems. The facts about motion of the sun, the measurement of time based on lunar phases, about Surya Siddhanta, about our legendary Indian astronomers from ancient to modern times, all were so fascinating and interesting, and I'm sure our audience must have been immensely benefited from your inspiring talk. Since at this special occasion of Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, Ms. Care and Vigyan Bharti are aiming to release the lunisolar calendar Food as a Medicine, I will now request Professor Ranjana Agarwal, Shri Jayanji, and Dr. Arvind Ranade to release the thematic lunisolar calendar.
Shomakji, unfortunately, you will not be having the physical copy, but you do have a soft copy of this calendar.
We can send one.
Yes.
Shekharji has one.
Yeah, but he's not there.
I will be very happy to have one in event.
Yeah, definitely. We will send. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you. Now today we have with us our very dynamic Dr. Arvind C. Ranade, scientist at Vigyan Prasad and Governing Council member of Vigyan Bharti. He is the national coordinator of the Vigyan Prasad network of science clubs. He has been associated with Vigyan Prasad since 2004 and has been honored with Mirabai Award in the year 2000, awarded Acharya Shri by the Joseph Foundation in 2014 and ERADA Vigyan Puraskar in 2017. He has authored more than 100 popular articles and delivered numerous popular talks on astronomy and space science in national and international levels. Dr. Ranade has been very instrumental in conceptualizing and successful launch of Vidyarthi Vigyan and has played a very active role in developing the lunar solar calendar on Food as a Medicine. So I request Dr. Ranade to deliver a special address on the thematic calendar.
Thank you so much, Charu ma'am. सभी दर्शकों को आज के चैत्र शुक्ल प्रतिपदा के दिन नए साल की शुरुआत पे मैं आप सबको शुभकामनाएं देता हूं. And let me give the a picture of this today's calendar, which is a combination of solar as well as lunar. I really thank to Shomakji, who has actually gave us a clear-cut idea about what the calendar system is, and this gives me an I would say the path to say that how this particular calendar is a combination of both. So before I could proceed, it is it's my duty that I must mention that this idea of this calendar to be brought in the interest of the people who really actually use the concept of lunisolar calendar and not only a lunar or a solar. So the idea and concept is by Jayanji and Ranjana ma'am, and of course though I am a voice box of the whole of my team, but along with me Dr. Rajiv Singh, then Dr. Manish Kashyap, Dr. Rajiv Singh from Delhi University, Manish Kashyap from Jawaharlal University, Sangeeta Abhyankar from Goa and Rajkumarji. We were the members who tried to develop this calendar. Take a second. This is what the calendar is. Today, as per the Gregorian day, today is the 13th of April, and as Shaumakji mentioned, there is an Indian national calendar which is adopted by Parliament of Government of India, which is 23rd Chaitra. So what this calendar is going to talk about is three important points. Number one, this has three aspects. One is Indian national calendar, second is a Gregorian calendar, and third one is the lunisolar calendar, which is a combination of Tithi and Paksha, which I will be explaining within a minute. And as Jayanji and all other dignitaries has mentioned, it has got a direct correlation with what we used to have food. It should be treated as a medicine. So year 2021 is also declared as International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. So in significance to that, we used a certain amount of food items, especially the fruits and vegetables, which has a medicinal values, which we'll be explaining now. And the third and important aspect of any calendar, that the calendar will have a list of holidays, which are national holidays. Then we have festivals, and then of course, being an Indian calendar, the birth dates of the Indian scientists in this. This is how it looks on the front page. I will strongly request all the readers to please refer the second page of the calendar, which talks about the terms and their explanation, which are used in this calendar. This is the front page of the calendar, or rather, this is how the month will look like. And this is the half of the portion of the calendar which talks about the Tithi and Paksha. We'll explain later in the next slide. And the second half of this calendar talks about the fruits and vegetable, relates to our seasons. As we all know, we in India have 6 seasons, like Vasant, then we have Grishma, we have Varsha, and all 6 different Rutus. So our food item also has a very close significance to the Rutus or the seasons. So these are all the Rutus which are in accordance with the festivals. This is how you will see one particular box for the day. This is how the Shukla Pratipada is a day of this calendar, and we name it as a Tithi of the month. In the left bottom location, you will see this is the Indian national calendar date, which is by the Indian national calendar starting on 22nd of March. So according to that, today is a 23rd Saura Masa Chaitra. And according to the Gregorian calendar, on the right bottom, you will see this is the Gregorian day as an April 13. All our Rutus has a very close significance to the colors that we use. So like Chaitra is a part of a Vasanta Rutu. So these color combinations are also there in the calendar. Also pages, you will see these colors are getting reflected as per the seasons. Now this is what you will see in the calendar, that every fruit is mentioned there with the signature information of that particular fruit. Especially, I'm just giving an example of an pineapple or ananas, which is useful in the urine infection due to the antibacterial property. And then what are the content in this particular pineapple, like number of calories it has, number of protein it contains, and the fat content. And the some emojis that you could see, they are nothing but they are talk about the nature of the fruit, whether it is a sweet, and the nature is whether it is a hot or cold in the nature. So the taste which are mentioned here, like hot, cold, sweet, sour, bitter, and then other kind of emojis are used. Similarly, in case of a vegetable also, you will see the similar pattern. So this is how that we really feel that these fruits and vegetables should be part of our daily food. Now let me tell you, as in the Gregorian calendar, we have a date. in this calendar you will find they are nothing but exactly called replacing the date in the Gregorian calendar. Here it is called the Tithi. So you will find that every date has a Tithi, like it is Pratipada, Dvitiya, Tritiya that you will see. Then you will see that there are days where the Tithis are merged or maybe eliminated. We call it as a Tithi Kshaya or a Tithi Vriddhi. Now, how do we calculate the Tithi? Tithi is nothing but, if you look at the angular distance between the sun and the moon is a 12 every day. It is because moon revolves around the earth 13 degree in its orbit, and earth revolves on its orbit by 1 degree, so which compensates 1 degree and remains out is a 12 degree. So very scientifically that we consider that 12 degree difference or the time taken by the moon to complete 12 degree is the amount of time its Tithi requires, and that varies from 20 hours to 28 hours. That's why you will see, because we consider a day as a 24 hours, so someday you will see that there is a Tithi Kshaya when the sunrise happens on the same Tithi, then there will be a Kshaya Tithi, or when there will be a possibility of having the second Tithi before the sunrise, then you will see that you will have 2 Tithis falling on the same day. This is how it is being explained here. Then we all have 7 days named as a Vara or a Var, that is Ravivar, Somvar, as we all know about it. And in this calendar, every month is called as a Mas, and every month will have 2 Paksha. One is called the Krishna Paksha, another is called the Shukla Paksha. How do we define the Shukla Paksha? It's basically a 15-day or a fortnight. Starting next day to Amavasya is called the Shukla Paksha. That again goes from Pratipada to Purnima, because 15th day will be the Purnima after the Amavasya. So Shukla Paksha will have a Pratipada to Purnima, and these are precisely nothing but the Tithi 1, Tithi 2, Tithi 3, like this. So Prathama is nothing but the Pratipada is nothing but the 1, Dvitiya is nothing but the 2. So like this, there are fortnight will have a 15 days combination. Similarly, next Krishna Pratipada starts very next day to Purnima, and that is how again we'll have a similar 15 Tithis starting from Pratipada to next is Amavasya. So every month you will see will have a complete 29.5, which makes a 30 days on an average. So Mas will have a 1 Shukla Paksha and 1 Krishna Paksha, and precisely this is nothing but the Chandra Masa, and Chandra Mas will have a different names like Chaitra, Vaishak. These all depends on which particular nakshatra the full moon or the new moon occurs. Depending on that, the names have come. So the Chaitra, Vaishak, Jesht belongs to 27 nakshatra, which makes only 12 months. Similarly, like a Chandra Masa, we have a Saura Masa. Saura Masa means it is a kind of a bifurcation of 365 days in a 12 equal portion, makes around a 12 zodiacal sign or zodiacal constellation. According to the Surya Siddhanta, these solar ones are called Madhu, Madhav, Shukra, Suchi. However, these are not been referred in this because we are following the Indian national calendar and the what we call as lunisolar month. That's why our month will have a Chaitra Vaishak, but will not have a Madhu Madhav. But this is what is the reality. Now, what we call as Samvatsara. Samvatsara is nothing but precisely called as a year. And we in Indian tradition, largely across the various location across the country, we use 2 different Samvatsara. One is a Vikram Samvatsar, which is started by Vikramaditya, 57 before Christ, or one can say before Common Era. And that's why to have a Vikram Samvatsar, we'll have to add 57 in the present Gregorian year. That's why Vasant Vikram Samvat will have a 2078. Similarly, Shalivahan started another Samvat or Samvatsara, which he started 78 years after the common year. That's why you will have to subtract 78 from the Gregorian year. And that's what you will see in this particular calendar. and I just live here with showing you this month. This is how it will look. This today is a Chaitra, will have a Pratipada, and that is how the calendar will look like. With this, I really wish that this calendar will become a popular as you start using it, because all our festival, whether it is a Ram Navami, whether it is a Janmashtami, whether it is Akshay Tritiya, all our festivals have relations to the Tithi and not the particular number in the month. So that is how we consider this is another way of giving a calendar for our people of the country. With this, thank you so much. I wish this calendar will get popular. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your such a wonderful talk and letting the audience know about the thematic solar calendar food as a medicine. So with this, actually, now we have drawn to closer to our special session. So I might now request Dr. Pavananda Berman, Senior Scientist and Associate Editor of Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge.
Thank you, ma'am. I thank the Vigyan Bharati and Director NISCAID for planning the release of this unisolar calendar on this auspicious occasion of Navvarsh. In this time of pandemic, I think this would have been the best way to start our new year with a calendar with the theme food as a medicine. I thank the content creation team of the calendar. I would like to thank DGCSR Dr. Saitashi Mande sir, who has been very supportive in various programs organized by our institute. I thank Professor Somak for enlightening us with his speech. Sri Jainji and Ranadi ji have been like members of NISCAID's family. Very recently, we successfully organized IISF 2020, where both of them were leading leaders. Even for today's program, it was the same. I thank Mr. R.S. Joyasamlu, Head Research Journals, Dr. Charulata, Dr. Manish Mohan Gore, Dr. Suman Ray, and all the members of the organizing committee who helped us in organizing this program. We are very much grateful to our director, Ranjana Agarwal ma'am, because ma'am only initiated the program and then guided us during how to plan everything. All other staff members and students also helped us in organizing this program. We thank all of them. And lastly, we thank our audiences for joining us with us in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor A. Chaudhary. Thank you for the illuminating talk.
Thank you so much.
So we are missing your presence.
I wish I was there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, we thank our media team for their generous coverage of the